Change is a very tricky topic, okay? Because anytime you try something new and you're not seeing the instant results right away, it can feel very much like fail, 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 not pass. But we wanted to talk about that. I said we, us, together, wanted to talk about that in this video, okay? Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Branson. I'm an actor, singer, dancer, songwriter, influencer, everything else in between. And yeah, that's basically my little intro. Okay, okay. So basically, I wanted to talk about change and the feeling of failure because yesterday I was having emotions about it, okay? So I was at my acting class yesterday, right? And we get scripts every week to prepare. So either it's a scene with a partner or monologues or other things. So yesterday we had two things to prepare. We had a few days to look for a monologue to do, and then we also had, right when we got there, got a new paper to do a commercial. So for my monologue, I chose a horror one. And I was like, you know what? Let me change it up. Let me switch it up. Because usually I'll do like a comedic or dramatic. And I was like, you know what? Let me push my boundaries and let me try to do a little jump scare. Let me try to do a little horror because I do love a horror movie. I think horror movies are tea. I saw Ready or Not 2 in the theaters like a few weeks ago. It was so tea. That's like my favorite movie of 2026 so far. Like that was tea. It was the moment. Like, come on now. Anyways, so I was like, let me try horror. So I give my little monologue or whatever, and then I go to class and I try to do it. And in the middle of me doing it, it's like okay, it's going all right. And then my teacher gave me notes about this, about that, feeling the environment, being scared and all this other stuff. And I was like, okay. And I found myself really, really getting internalized, like, oh my gosh, like, why am I not getting this right? And I was like, wait, I never do horror monologues. So it's kind of crazy for me to think as soon as I pick it up, I should be able to eat that down. And I mean, obviously with training, we're getting better at that cold reading skill, okay? Getting a script, hurry up and getting it in, boom, boom, boom. But not as, I wasn't as confident as I would be as if I was in a comedic or a dramatic monologue. And I was like, you know what? This is what I wanted. I wanted to push my boundaries. I wanted to switch it up. And now I'm getting better at it because now that I've gotten those notes that I did yesterday with the horror monologue, now I can transfer them, try it, and reapply. But even in the class, I was still feeling like emotions of, ugh, like I didn't eat up like how I thought I did. I mean, obviously, I didn't see myself do it because I didn't get the footage yet, but just between the notes too, I was like, okay, like I wouldn't have got this if I was doing my basic dramatic or comedic. But then I'm like, no, we have to switch it up. We had to try something new and we have to get better because when you try something new and you're bad at it, that is normal. And I feel like it's so easy to just try something and not be good and then immediately write yourself off as I'm terrible, I'm a failure, I'm this, I'm that. But it's like, well, no. Well, no. There have been so many people in the past that have had trial and error at the things that they are experts, that they are masters at, and that's how they got to that place. They had to trial and error it down every single day, every single minute, every single hour. Now, can I say I would be doing every single minute, every single day of a horror monologue? No. But I will be adding that to my repertoire. And I will actively make efforts to keep doing more of those because I would love to act in a horror movie. That would be so sweet, okay? Like, I had an audition where I almost, and then I had a callback where I was almost in one. But welcome to the life of an actor, okay? We're almost in a lot of things. Yeah, so that would have been something really fun. And another part. Okay, so yeah, that was the horror monologue thing. But then when we got the commercial scripts in class, like that second, because we have time to prepare the monologues before class. But this was like, okay, well, we have time. So y'all, here's some scripts in. Go practice. So my teacher also mentioned to me that here's a Spanish commercial monologue if you want to practice that because we had about 10 different monologues we could have chose from and I think about like six were in English and she just printed out four extra ones for me. She was like, well, because I heard you say you speak Spanish and you would like to act in Spanish. And I was like, oh my God, see? But then I was like, so I took the paper and I went to go practice. She was like, you could choose whichever one you want, the English or the Spanish. And it was a commercial. So I was like, okay. I immediately went to Spanish. I was like, okay, you know what? I want to try this out. I want to do this, okay? Because I've been wanting to get into my Spanish acting bag too. Like, baby, get me on a flight to Barcelona. Get me on a flight to Mexico City. I'm ready, okay? Like, come on. Do y'all need an Americano like Tarita Lines? Come on, like, what's going on? Anyways, um, So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the Spanish monologue. And I immediately knew it was gonna be different than me doing my English like commercial stuff because obviously English is my native language, so it's really easy for me to just go 1 2 1 2 1 2. But with the Spanish monologue, it wasn't even that the because it was a commercial, so you know when you're in a commercial, you have to be more. But I was like focusing on those lines so bad. Like it was because like when it comes to English memorization, I'm already like it already takes a lot for me to memorize. Okay, but you would think being like doing a decade of acting, you would think just memorization would just come like, girl, I'm so sick of my brain not memorizing how it needs to memorize. Girl, use pick up the script and photograph it, okay? Because we gotta go. We got about 6 auditions to film. Real tea. I actually have like 4 to film within the next few days. 5? That's my problem. But I love it though. It's the life. This is the life. Hannah Montana, okay? Anyways, so I immediately start practicing trying to memorize these Spanish lines, and I'm just like, I keep mixing myself up the words because like for people that speak another language or that know another language, especially, I'm not in my beginning stages of Spanish anymore. Like I communicate in Spanish all the time, but it's still like some words that I don't know. There are words that I don't know, and when I do, and then having to memorize those within a script of words that you've never. I mean, most of those words that I've seen, I've heard them, but it's not like the common basic words that you hear. It's like, oh, I've heard these words maybe once. Like, anyways, so I get up in class and I'm trying to do my scene and I immediately bomb it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so bad. And then I was like, saying my lines in Spanish, like trying to memorize it, da da da. And then I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Like, I just immediately started going down on myself and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, okay. And my teacher was like, no, you can redo it, da da da. And then I was like, okay, da 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 da. And I said my thing, and then I forgot something else, and I was like, and I just immediately like was just doing it. And at this point, I was like low key speaking gibberish. So gag, to my surprise, the teacher's like, you're missing a part. And I'm like, yeah, I'm missing a lot because it's just really hard for my brain to memorize this right now. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're missing this part. Like I speak Spanish as well. Da da da. Girl gags me. I don't know. She spoke Spanish. I said, now I look stupid. Now I look stupid, girl, because she's hearing my flops. She's hearing the words that I'm saying. Because at first I was like, okay, I didn't think she spoke Spanish. So I'm like obviously eating up my parts that I'm eating up, but the words that I barely knew, I'm not really eating like as much as I thought. And she's like, yeah, you've been missing this and the. I said, ooh, gag, girl. Now I'm embarrassed. At that point, I had to take a step back. I had to say, you know what? Wow. And then afterwards, she was like, It's okay. Like, you did good. Teachers when they're just trying to get you like overweight. It's like, okay, like, you did good. Whatever. Anyways. But I was like, so like, oh my gosh, why I do this? But then I was like, wait, pause. Did I not tell myself that I wanted to get in my Spanish acting bag? Okay? Things do not come easy, especially things that you don't constantly do, that you don't work on, especially when you first do it. Like this is my first time ever doing a Spanish piece in a class. Like, and mind you, I just had to learn the lines like right then and there. So like I memorized at least 60% of that. Like, okay. So this is what I want to say. When you try something new, you're not a failure. You're learning that thing that you're trying, okay? Because when you pick the world famous skateboarders, world famous NFL players, like when you do things for the first time, they didn't get there just by waking up one day and being good at it. No, it came through practice, dedication, and being bad for a very long time. Okay? And hey, when you're in that phase, you gotta cherish that because you're not gonna be like that forever, okay? And I remember when I first started learning Spanish, when I used to watch YouTubers and a lot of language learning YouTubers, they say, well, cherish the moments that you don't understand right now because in the future it will never sound the same. And when I first started listening to Spanish, like a lot of it was like kind of like random words to me because I didn't understand. And now when people are talking, I can understand. So if somebody's coming from me in Spanish or like being really nice in Spanish, I can understand. So it'll never go back to sounding like that gibberish that it used to sound like to me. And yeah, cherish the moments that you're not the best at what you want to get better at because you will get better. And once you're better, it's going to open up so many doors for you, okay? And this goes for everything. I just gave my obvious acting experience ways, but this goes for medical too. This goes for creativity too. This goes for being a teacher. This goes for everything because when you're, I don't know, if you're in school picking up those books and you're like, girl, I'm just bad. I've been studying. Well, boom, there are a lot of people, there are a lot of famous scientists, there are a lot of world-renowned experts that were not so tea at first, but some people do start off at different levels. Some people, even in the acting, performing, singing, dancing industry, some people maybe start off at this level at singing, and I might start off at this level, but then gradually they keep practicing. Maybe they stop as much, but maybe I keep going every day. And it's levels to this, okay? And you have to keep going. That's all I wanted to say. So you're not a failure, you're learning. You're learning, trial and error, okay? That's why that exists. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Yeah, this is my acting journey. Please watch The Summer My Heart Stopped. It's a vertical series that I was in. I'll put the link in the description. Yes, I was acting in it. I was the waiter. So thank you guys so much for coming to my channel. I love you guys so much, and bye.